Hello there guys, and welcome back to Blues Fans TV for yet another Premier League match preview by myself as Chelsea are to take on Aston Villa at Stamford Bridge, with the kickoff being at 5:30 p.m. UK time tomorrow on the 28th of September. And I'm telling you, after that game against Arsenal last night, I'm really not ready to go into another game already. Like this is way too quick of a turnaround. I mean, last night was awful, but I guess it is in the past now, and we have to move forward and we have to bounce back. And there are a lot of question marks ahead of tomorrow's game. First of all, how many players that started last night will start again tomorrow? Secondly, can we beat Aston Villa, who are actually in unbelievable form and ahead of us in the table with 2 games in hand? And lastly, is Frank Lampard actually under serious threat of getting sacked if we don't win the game tomorrow? That and a lot of other things, including my predicted 11, will be discussed today, so stick around for that. But be sure to subscribe to Blues Fans TV if you haven't already. That'd be massively appreciated. Make sure you smash the like button if you're excited for the game tomorrow, if you do enjoy our content, or if you just want to cheer me up. And if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my personal channel as well. The link to it is down in the description below, or if you click the I button up there, I do, the day after every single Chelsea game, I do in-depth analysis, live streams where we get your opinion and your thoughts involved. And I will be doing that tonight as well, because even though, I'm doing a preview today, I will have to do that tonight as well, around 6 p.m, maybe 7 p.m. UK time. So please be sure to subscribe, tune in for that. That'd be massively appreciated. And yeah, I guess I'll see you there. And just lastly, before getting into the video, let me shout out our sponsors. Get Football Manager 21 with a discount of 10% if you use the code BluesFansTV after clicking the link in the description. And if you fancy any new football merch, any new football gear, if you will, make sure you use the other link down in the description below and use our promo code BALLER for a discount at checkout. But enough of that now, let's get into the video itself. And of course, usually we'd started off with Lampard's press conference, because we only played last night, and that part of the press conference that might include a few things about the Aston Villa game is embargoed until 10:30 p.m. tonight. So there's not that much to say here. There's just a couple of things that Frank said after the game, which obviously I didn't know about when doing the live review last night. So, and I guess first of all, Lampard did confirm that Hudson-Odoi would start against Aston Villa. He also praised Jorginho and said he hopes people don't just look at the penalty, because in his opinion, he gave us a lot when he came on. And also that Timo Werner simply had to be taken off at halftime because he wasn't giving us enough on the ball or off the ball. And fair enough. But I guess with that, let's get into the team that I myself would field and my predicted 11 with as well. Starting with the former on this side of the screen, of course, and there has to be a lot of rotation. Obviously, there has to be a lot of rotation. I mean, it's crazy anyway that some players will have to play 2 games in 48 hours. I mean, I'm honestly surprised that it's even allowed, to be honest. But hey, what can we do? It is what it is for the time being. And in goal, I would say Edouard Mendy, stays in goal. I don't think there's much of a debate there, to be honest. I guess Antonio Rudiger comes into the team for Thiago Silva, who, of course, at 36 years of age, should not be playing 2 games in 48 hours. Although I wouldn't mind if it's Christensen either, to be honest, but I just think it's just so much more likely that it's Rudiger that it would be silly of me not to pick him in a way. But Kurt Zouma, in my opinion, stays in the side. He's a rock at the back at the moment, if you ask me, and he just has to play, and I'm sure physically he should be able to do so, considering he plays at centre-back as well. And of course, neither Ben Chilwell nor Reece James should and can start again. I mean, looking at their performance last night, there is a strong point to be made that they shouldn't have started the game last night against Arsenal in the first place, but they definitely cannot start again, in my opinion. So Emerson at left back and Azpilicueta at right back. And I mean, first of all, I would stick to the 4-3-3 and start Jorginho at the base. That's what I myself would do. Even with Kante being subbed off during the game yesterday, I think it's better if he gets a rest and maybe comes on in the second half if need be. So, I wouldn't start him, because I would start Billy Gilmour as the left-sided number 8 and then Kai Havertz as the right-sided number 8 in our midfield 3, and then coming to the front 3. Other than Kurt Zouma, one other player should start again, and that's Mason Mount to me. If anyone's physically capable of doing that, it is probably Mason Mount. And for me, he should start on the right wing. There is an argument to be made for playing Tino Andrin, but I don't know if that's the best idea right now. I would probably prefer to go for Mason Mount, even if it's on a wing. But, with Ziyech still not being fit and Christian Pulisic just absolutely not being able to start again with all of the hamstring injuries and muscle injuries he's had already this season, I think it should be Mason Mount. And Timo Werner, I don't want to see him start again. I just don't. I don't really care if he came off at halftime yesterday. He just shouldn't play, and I'm pretty sure Lampard won't play him either. And like I said, I mentioned Christian Pulisic already, so that is not Timo Werner. Mason Mount on the right, and Callum Hudson-Odoi, after a brilliant substitute appearance last night, starts on the left. I mean, Lampard guaranteed and confirmed that he will start, but he also should. And then I guess up front, mainly for rotational purposes, I go for Olivier Giroud. But then coming to my predicted 11, of course, this is now my team that I myself would pick. And my predicted 11 now on this side of the screen, there are a few differences, but it's still fairly similar, I guess. Sticking to the same formation, over 4-3-3 with 1 DM and 2 number 8s. And I reckon Frank Lampard will pick the same back 5 as I would. I think that's pretty straightforward in all honesty. In midfield though, is where I'm struggling to decide what I actually think Frank will do, because yeah, he did say he was thinking about the Villa game when taking N'Golo Kante off yesterday, but he also praised Jorginho, you know, for his impact when coming on at halftime, and I can't really see him not start Mount, Havertz and even Billy Gilmour. So I guess then Mason Mount does get a rest, even though it would, in a weird way, surprise me, but I just can't make it up in another way. So I guess then he'll go for Jorginho at the base, and N'Golo Kante as the right-sided centre midfielder, Billy Gilmour as the left-sided centre midfielder, and then Kai Havertz on the right wing. That's what I think he'll do. And I guess, you know, Hudson-Odoi then on the other side as the left winger, and Olivier Giroud up top completes the team. I mean, I could be wrong here, and it could be Mason Mount stays in the team for Billy Gilmour, or I don't know, he plays Timo Werner again, or he plays Tino Andre in the wing. But you know, whether I'm right or not, I guess we'll only see tomorrow. But I guess it's now time to talk about the game itself. And the main point I have is do something other than bloody cross the ball. If you saw last night's review, the title was 34 crosses, 2 shots on target. Maybe it was 3. There is different stats here. But do something other than bloody cross the ball. Honestly, I mean, in that sense, it's almost a good thing that Reece James won't play, because he's so good at crossing that when we can't find a really easy way through the middle, I guess, all we do is just give him the ball, and because he's so good at crossing, we just hope that he does something with it. That's honestly what we do at the moment, and that's my main and biggest criticism with Frank Lampard, not the formation. Not playing Timo Werner on the wing. I mean, maybe playing Timo Werner full stop, but with the injuries he had to. Not being very harsh on the players after the game, because some people seem to have taken offence to that as well for some reason. But what he is to blame for, in my opinion, and which is why it is my biggest criticism of him, is that for quite a long time now, a one and only real tactic has been putting in cross after cross after cross. When Ziyech was fit, we just had 2 types of crosses, the in and the out swingers, meaning it gave us more variation and was more difficult to defend. But essentially, it was still 90% crosses, and without Hakim Ziyech in the team, it's even more, even easier to predict, I guess. And eventually, opponents picked up on that. They crowd the box, make it nearly impossible for our attackers, for our strikers, to get on the end of crosses with a good connection. Especially, doesn't matter whether it's Olivier Giroud, Tammy Abraham, or whoever else you play in the middle. They will struggle if the opposition crowds the box and all we do is cross the ball. And as long as we don't change that bit, pretty much our only and main tactic, there is absolutely no point starting Timo Werner up front either. Because yeah, if we fed him with through balls to attack the space in behind with his pace, that could work if he actually, you know, takes the chances, that is. But Tammy Abraham is quick as well. You know, if using the spacing behind like that was a plan that we had and something we would actually be capable of doing right now, we'd be doing it already. Yeah, Tammy wouldn't be as useful at it as Timo Werner is, but it'd still be possible. Do you know what I mean? Like, Olivier Giroud is the more one-dimensional striker where you can, I guess you can play link-up play with him, but other than that, it's crosses. You know, you're not going to play a through ball for Giroud to run after. He's not going to get there. But, you know, if Werner plays up top and we keep crossing the ball, it won't just miraculously happen that we start passing the ball. No, it will be pointless to playing up top. It will be as pointless as playing Billy Gilmour and N'Golo Kante in goal if one cross after the other comes in and Timo Werner plays up top. There are a lot of people, at least on social media as well, calling for Lampard to be sacked at the moment, which personally, I strongly disagree with this, to make this very, very clear. But I was wondering, is he actually on a serious threat of that happening, especially if we don't beat Aston Villa? Now, personally, I don't think so. I know a lot of people disagree, but personally, I don't think so. And I don't think any manager, or very many managers of Chelsea, would be at this point. By that logic, Antonio Conte should have been sacked halfway through, at least in February of the 17-18 season, and he wasn't either. So, you know, we're not that quick to pull the trigger anymore. And, you know, Maurizio Sarri, when he had the bad run around February, wasn't sacked either. So, no, not any manager would be sacked right now if it wasn't Frank Lampard. That's not true. But 3 losses in 4 games is, of course, poor, and things do need to change. But this whole idea of Lampard / us as Chelsea spending over 200 million and us being in this form is just Lampard's fault is absolutely ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous. Like, we know for a fact that Timo Werner and Kai Havertz are amazing players and will be for Chelsea eventually. And players just have bad form. It's happened on every single manager ever. Like whether it's Mourinho, Ferguson, Guardiola, Klopp, or anyone else you can think of, players sometimes hit bad form. Plus the injury of Hakim Ziyech, I'm not going to use it as an excuse for everything, but he was brought in to solve exactly the issue we've had recently, a lack of big chance creation, right? If we had that in abundance already, we wouldn't really have needed to sign Hakim Ziyech, would we now? That's the point of making signings. You sign something, or you sign a player that gives you something that you don't have yet. And yeah, of course, there could be things played around. That's why I say there is criticisms of Lampard that are very, very valid. And we should have other options and other plans than just crossing a ball. And of course, I'm not there in training ground. I'm not there in the team meetings. I'm not there. I don't know if Lampard actually tells them to do something different and they just don't. But it just is so consistent and so like obvious. The crossing is the one thing we do that I just can't possibly imagine Lampard not saying cross the ball in a weird way. But anyway, we need to do more. Like we all know that. And we need to do better. Not just Lampard, even more so in my opinion, the players. I mean, where has their intensity gone and where has it been since the Leeds game? I mean, the players are adults. I don't agree with this statement of the manager is there to like motivate the team and everything. They're pro footballers. It's their own responsibility to turn up and give their all. It shouldn't just be down to the manager. Yes, the manager can help it. But if it's not there, it shouldn't be the manager that's blamed for it. It should be the players that is blamed for that. They're professionals. They're human beings. They should get themselves fired up as well. That's part of the job. You know, if you're a dentist and you can't pull a tooth, you're not going to be good at your job either. Like, it's just part of it. It absolutely has to be part of it. And, you know, we have to turn up and we have to show the intensity against Aston Villa tomorrow because they are in brilliant form. I mean, coming to them and talking about them, they're currently in 6th. On 25 points, 1 place ahead of ourselves on goal difference, so we are on 25 points as well. But the big difference is, like I touched on in the beginning already, they have 2 games in hand over us. Even if one of them is against Man City, if I'm not mistaken, and the other one against Newcastle, still 2 games in hand over us. They have the 2nd best defence in the league. Okay, they have 2 games in hand, so 2 games less played, but still they only conceded 13 goals, if I'm not mistaken. Well, also scoring 27 goals already, which again, 2 games in hand, makes that sound even more impressive if you think about it. And looking at their form, right, they started the season amazingly well. I don't remember, maybe 4 or 5 wins on the bounce. And then they had a bit of a bad run with defeats to Leeds, Southampton, Brighton, and West Ham as well. But now they found their form again, beating Wolves, West Brom, and then most remarkably yesterday, Crystal Palace, they beat them 3-0, even though their captain and one of their best players, especially defensively, Tyrone Mings, was sent off just before half-time where they were only 1-0 up. And instead of capitulating or whatever and losing the game or conceding the draw, I guess, they went from 1-0 up when he got sent off to 3-0 up to win the game. That is very, very impressive. And that's just a really good team in pretty much every area of the pitch. Chance creation, goals per game, as well as defensively, like I said, all of these stats are very much up there in compared to every Premier League team. But they don't go out and like attack you. They don't press you like crazy. They absolutely don't do that. They sit and then they break with absolute menace. And having players like Ollie Watkins, Jack Grealish, Bertrand Traore, and even Ross Barkley, even though he's injured right now, they're really good. Like, they're just really good. But the one big, big advantage that Chelsea at least should have for the game tomorrow is that, yes, we both played yesterday and, you know, Villa played those 2 hours before us, but our squad is much stronger than theirs, realistically, all right? They have a good starting 11, but their depth isn't anywhere near of the level as ours is, right? So if they rotate a lot, we should be a much better team than them, even if we rotate as well. And if they don't rotate a lot, we should be a lot fresher and fitter than them. So as long as we, you know, calm it down at the beginning, we should be able to annihilate them towards the end. Of course, players can pull off miracles and maybe they just don't seem less fresh, less fit than us at all. But in theory, this should be a significant advantage to us. And I think it will be so much so of a significant advantage. That's where the big teams really have that big advantage, that I do think we will win the game. Even if it's only by 2 goals to 1 in my prediction, but we really, really need that win. The team needs to win, the players need that win, and to be honest, Frank Lampard needs to win as well. But to be honest, guys, that has really, really been it from me. Like I said in the beginning already, please be sure to subscribe to Blues Fans TV if you haven't already. Please be sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed this video, if you're excited for the game tomorrow. And of course, leave me your thoughts ahead of the game down in the comment section below. Do you think Frank Lampard is under serious threat of getting sacked if you don't get a result tomorrow or say in the next couple of games? Let me know down in the comment section below, as well as your score predictions. And like I said in the beginning already, be sure to check out my personal channel, to which the link is down in the description, or if you click the I button up there for an in-depth analysis of the Arsenal game yesterday, tonight. And I do this after every single game, the day after every single Chelsea game. I do an in-depth analysis where I get your guys' opinions and thoughts involved. It's super interactive, so be sure to get involved, be sure to tune in. And, you know, just lastly, before finishing this video off, I guess, I will quickly shout out our sponsors one last time. Get Football Manager 21 with a discount of 10% if you use the code BluesFansTV. And, you know, just do that after clicking the link in the description. And if you want any football gear, any Chelsea gear, make sure you use the other link down in the description and use our promo code BALLER for a discount at checkout. But yeah, to be honest, guys, that's really brilliant for me. I am in a way looking forward to the game just to get over the Arsenal game because that hurt and I'm still not over it. It's too soon. I mean, it's the next day, literally. But yeah, you know, I am excited for it. I hope we can bounce back up to Chelsea, upwards and onwards, and I'll see you when I see you.